Hi everyone, welcome to Battle Royale. Today I have a very exciting video, which is a collaboration between myself and 9 other awesome GeoGuessr YouTubers and streamers, including GeoWizard himself, who we all know and love, and many others. So this was a very intense but very fun battle, and this will be the video of the tournament from my perspective. All the other players will be uploading the tournament from their perspective. Be sure to check them out. I will link their channels in the description below. So without further ado, let's begin. So here we start the first game. So what did we have? We have some script on the walls there, so that is Bangladeshi script. So immediately I guess Bangladesh and lock it in. And Bangladesh is correct, so that's a good start. So this is not a good round for me. I do come out first on this round, but I do make a good comeback later. So I think it's the US at first. I see very modern buildings and the double yellow center line, so I guess US. And the US is wrong, so I end up guessing Canada instead, which is also wrong. I see everyone is guessing very, very quickly, so I want to get guessing quickly myself, but Brazil is also wrong, so I am out. And now we're on to the second game. So the first round, we have a red plate on the car, and very Bhutanese architecture, so I go Bhutan. Bhutan typically has red plates on the cars. Bhutan ends up being correct. This is just very typical Bhutan architecture. So this looks like kind of like Argentina or Uruguay. Have a look around. We have the black car, which is very typical of those countries. I guess Uruguay, because of the plates on the cars, look Uruguayan. And I'm ready to guess Argentina, but I don't need to. Uruguay is correct. So 8 of us are through to the next round. And we have some tuk-tuks. Oh yeah, we have Lagos state government. So Lagos is a city in Nigeria, so I automatically go Nigeria. We are driving on the right as well, and it feels kind of African, so Nigeria is correct. And the next round. So I automatically got this because of the Serbian plate with the BG on the red car, so I guess Serbia. And Serbia is correct. Okay, so this feels very Tunisian. We have black plates on the cars, and it feels like an Arab country, so I'm pretty confident on Tunisia here. This feels European. We have a bollard in the distance, so I go to look at the bollard, and it looks like a Czech bollard or a Slovak bollard with the two red lines. So I guess the Czech Republic. And is it correct? Yes, it is. And I am through. And the next round feels like typical UAE. It's very deserty, just very open, big roads, and very modern, so the UAE is the guess to go there. The UAE is correct. So on to the next one. I remember this one, and I was unsure about where to go. It looked very tropical, but I had a few areas in mind. I go and I look at that plate, and I guess Brazil for no particularly good reason. Brazil doesn't normally have black plates. And then I changed to Indonesia. Indonesia and Malaysia have black plates, and shorter plates tend to be more Indonesian. And this round looks like Australia. We're driving on the left. We've got lots of big houses. Just a very typical suburban Australian look. And Australia is correct, so still in the game, top 4, which is good. And 4 of us left, so this is typical UK. The UK is my home country, so it's very familiar look to me. We also have yellow plates on the back of some of the cars, so yeah, this one is definitely the UK. And 3 of us are through to the next round. Now this is very autumnal and very foggy, so I want to go Croatia here. Croatia has a lot of autumn and a lot of foggy coverage, so that's why I think Croatia. And those houses do look typical of the region. Croatia is correct, so we move on. Just me and GeoPeter left. Now this, we've got a yellow plate and Luxembourg style street lights, so this should be Luxembourg. So I lock in Luxembourg, pretty sure about that. And GeoPeter is as well, so we're both in the game. Okay, this is Tunisia, so we've got the white dashed lines, and the follow car over there is a Tunisian follow car, so that confirms the country. And both of us are through again to the next round. So what was this? This is Balkan, and we've got a sign pointing to Belgrade, so this should be Serbia. So I lock in Serbia, and it does end up being correct. Yep, nice. And we're both through. And what does this look like? We've got Cyrillic and autumn coverage, so this feels a lot like Kyrgyzstan. Those tall trees are very Kyrgyzstan looking, and the bars on the car as well, so definitely Kyrgyzstan here. And still, we're both through, so this is a very, very long battle. And this is the round that I go out on. I look around, it feels kind of like Russia or Ukraine. I end up going Ukraine because we've got a lot of trees, and a lot of urban Ukraine tends to have a lot of trees, but this time it ends up being wrong, and it was in fact Russia, so well done GeoPeter there. So now we're on to the third game. And what was this? This feels Latin American. Now we've got a lot of modern buildings and we have the white car, so this feels like a good indication that we're in Chile. So that's where I go for. And Chile is correct, so I'm through. 9 of us still in the game. So this feels Balkan. We've got Balkan style houses. We have a minaret there as well, and a Balkan looking car, so I guess Macedonia. And was it correct? And yes, it was, so I am through to the next round. Also, we had no antenna on the car, which is very typical of Serbia and Macedonia. Minarets are fairly common in Macedonia because they have an Albanian population. So this feels like Southeast Asia somewhere. We've got those Southeast Asian roofs, and I think I was out on this one. I thought I saw some script and I went Cambodia, but it didn't end up being Cambodia at all. It was actually English, so it was the Philippines, but I was too slow to guess anywhere else. So I was out of that game. So we're on to the fourth of the moving games. And the game has started, so this feels like Europe. I wasn't sure where in Europe to go, so I think I move along the road to look for more clues. Yeah, I was thinking about Switzerland, I was thinking about Slovenia, I think, Czechia, countries like that, but I wanted to find more information. It is the first round, so it doesn't matter about guessing quickly. So I tried to look for some language or some bollards or something helpful like that. Haven't found anything so far, so I keep going along the road. Okay, so I end up guessing Slovenia first. Slovenia was wrong, and I keep going to look for more information. And I go for Slovakia because it hasn't been guessed yet, and Slovakia was correct, so I'm through. So the next round is starting. So immediately this looks like Mexico. It's very dry. We've got a yellow center line, and the very black road is quite typical in Mexico. So I go for Mexico there. And Mexico is correct, so I'm through. So what was this? Okay, we've got lots of cars with white plates, and the white plates don't have blue strips. We've got Cyrillic, so this could be Russia. Russian car plates don't have blue strips on them. I was thinking it could be Ukraine as well, but Russia is correct, so don't have to worry about that. So, let's see. This looks very Mediterranean. I think I was thinking about Spain and Italy. And I see the car in the distance has a very small plate, so I go Italy. You do also see small plates in Greece, so I was wondering about Greece, but Italy is correct, so I'm through. And what was this? This feels very Chilean, and we've got a Chile flag, so need to get that in quickly because it's a very obvious clue. And it is correct. So what do we have? We have a yellow center line. We have a cross on the back of that diamond sign, which is typical of Colombia. So also the mountains and hills look typical of Colombia. We also have a yellow plate on that motorcycle, so Colombia has a lot of yellow plates. That is correct, and we are all through. Okay, this was a unique round. It felt very dry, lots of palms. We have Arabic, so this should be the UAE. Because it's also quite modern, and the UAE has a lot of random trekkers near Dubai, so the UAE is correct. So this looks Balkan, and I'm thinking about Serbia and Macedonia. We've got no antenna under the car. What do I go for? I go for Serbia. And was that correct? Serbia wasn't correct. GeoPeter also guessing there. So instead I guess Macedonia, and Macedonia is correct. Okay, so this is the round that I lose on, and I see some shields, and I think they look like Mexican shields. So I go to Mexico. But it ends up being wrong. There's actually a bars under the car, so it's actually Guatemala. Okay, so this was the fifth of the moving games, and this was quite a generic Europe, and I wasn't sure where to go, but we do have Czech and Slovak bollards there. So I go for the Czech Republic, but I was thinking it could be Slovakia as well. The Czech Republic was correct, so I didn't need to worry there. Okay, the next round, what do we have? It's very jungly. We have a trekker, and we have some people. We have a historic building, so I end up going Cambodia because Cambodia has a lot of random trekkers like this. I was thinking it could be India as well, but Cambodia is correct, so don't need to worry about that. I'm through. Most of us got Cambodia, so I think 8 of us left. Okay, what was this? We have a blue line which looks very Swiss. We've got Switzerland style houses as well. So I lock in Switzerland. And that small plate looks like a very Swiss plate as well. So we are correct, and we are through. And this is Latin American. I lock in Mexico because that's the kind of vibe I get here. We've got Mexican plates as well. And on to the next round. Okay, this feels European. It feels fairly generic Western Europe, probably. I guess France first. And then I look at the houses. The colours of the houses and stuff do look like they could be Belgium, so I guess Belgium after that. And Belgium is correct, so we are through. So 4 of us are still in the game. We have a white centre line, and we have yellow plates. The yellow plates on the bollards make me think Luxembourg. Too hilly to be the Netherlands, so I lock in Luxembourg. Pretty sure about that one, so it should be correct. And it is, so I'm through. Right, so this looks European, but very generic. Feels kind of Central European, but I wasn't sure on the country. I guess Poland first. It's quite flat and feels like it could fit. And Poland is incorrect, and so is the Czech Republic, so I guess Austria. Austria isn't correct. Can't be Slovakia because of the camera, but it is Hungary, so I'm through. And me and Peter in the final 2. So we have Spanish, and we have European plates. Spanish and European plates, well, Spain, so both of us are through. Okay, and this was a generic European location. I wasn't really sure where to go. I went Ukraine first for no particularly good reason, and decided to look for more clues. I spot the blue signs which look very Italian, so I go for Italy. And Italy ends up being correct, and I win the game. So now we're on to the no moving games. We can pan and zoom, but we can't move around. So this is the first game. Okay, what do we have? We have English, and looks like we are driving on the left, so can't remember what I guess here. Oh yeah, we have the mirror, so this should be Kenya. It's a Kenya car. So I get Kenya just in time to move on. And on to the next round. So this ends up being Kenya again. We've got the same Kenya car. So locking Kenya. You need to be quick because it's an easy clue, and that is correct, so we move on again. I think all of us are still in the game, and here we have Czech or Slovak language, so the kind of style of the buildings look kind of like the Carpathian Mountains in more Slovakia, so I guess Slovakia first. Slovakia is correct, so I'm through. The town name Haligovce just looks very typical Czech or Slovak name. And the style of the roofs and stuff, I don't know, look like maybe Eastern Slovakia or more in the Carpathian Mountains. Most of us are still in the game. And this looks like Japan. We've got Japanese writing, so easy Japan guess. There's also the Japanese car and Japanese low camera. And we are through. So what was this? This feels Mediterranean, and I end up going Spain. The kind of arrows, the white and blue arrows, looked quite Spanish, so, and also the mountains, the dryness of it. So this felt like a very generic European kind of motorway services or something. I was thinking about Slovakia, Slovenia, Czech Republic, but not sure, it was quite generic. I had a few countries in mind. With the mountains and the houses and stuff, I was thinking Slovenia. The houses did look a little bit Balkan, so Slovenia was better than Slovakia for that. And Slovenia was correct. And 6 of us are still in the game. So this looks Southeast Asian. We've got, yep, Indonesian style language. Pondok sounds very Indonesian. So I go for Indonesia, lock it in. And it ends up being correct, so we are through. So on to the next round. We are 5 left. We've got the double white lines, which are typical in Greece. We also have a yellow sign over there. Greece has a lot of yellow signs. And the landscape looks Greek, it's kind of mountainous and Balkan. And we move on to the next round. So, this looks like Germany. We've got the Generation 2 camera, and the houses and the look just feels German to me. And final 3, and what was this? This looked like Chile to me, so I end up guessing Chile. The thing that went wrong, I lock it in, but then I spot the black car, which is more of an Argentinian car. Chile has a white car, so I was knocked out. Now for the second no moving game. Okay, this feels like Russia or Ukraine. We have a red car below. The red car is in Ukraine, not Russia, so pretty sure about Ukraine, and it does end up being correct. Okay, this feels African. At first I wasn't sure which country to go for, but that is the Ghana car, so this should be Ghana. I was very, very close to being knocked out there, but I got it in just in time to qualify, so that was good, that was lucky. Okay, and this feels Balkan. We have no antenna on the car, so this is probably Serbia or Macedonia. And I'll go for Serbia first. Was that correct? It wasn't Serbia, so I go for Macedonia. And Macedonia is correct, so we are through. Next round. Let's see. Okay, this is the round I go out on. I look around. I see the reddish soil. I go for Brazil for no good reason other than it looks quite orange. I spot the Uganda car a bit too late. Uganda or Kenya would have made sense with the barbed wire fence as well, but I got knocked out there. Now for the third no moving game. So this feels European. We've got white lines, and I look around, look at some houses. It feels kind of Central European. I wasn't sure exactly on the country. I think I guessed Poland first, did I? It's not the Czech Republic. Did I go? Yeah, I was thinking about Hungary, but I went to Poland. No, I didn't. I went straight to Hungary, and Hungary was correct. I think I got Hungary after seeing some of the wrong guesses. And again we are through. What did we have here? It's tropical. We've got Angkor, so these Angkor adverts are all over Cambodia. We've also got the script, so an easy Cambodia there. Right, on to the next round. So we have the tuk-tuks, and the double yellow line looks very Philippines, and we've also got lots of English around, so I guess the Philippines. And the Philippines is correct, so we are through. So here we've got some black and white poles and Malaysian style green signs. So I guess Malaysia. I think somebody was talking, so I decided to deafen myself. The next round feels like Argentina, so that's what I go for. And we did have an Argentinian plate on that car on the left of the screen, with the black hole in the middle. It's very Argentinian style plate. 5 of us are through, and this is Norway. We've got yellow center lines and mountains and just a general Scandinavian feel. So, very beautiful Norway location. And here we have Bangladesh. We've got Bangladesh script and just overall Bangladeshi vibes. So we guess Bangladesh. It's correct. So what do we have? Again, we have Norway because we have the green plate and yellow lines in the middle are Norwegian. So definitely Norway there. And the next round, it feels African. We have the Uganda car, the white car. So I guess Uganda. And Uganda is correct, and we are through. Okay, so the next round, it feels European. The buildings look a bit Spanish and European plates, so I go for Spain. I wasn't 100% on Spain, but it felt the best. And it is correct, so we are qualified. And we move on. Okay, so that house there, that reddish house, looks very typical Turkish style. We've also got some Turkish-looking poles in the distance, so we go for Turkey. And Turkey is correct. And the final two with aGreedyHobbit. So this feels like a Icelandic suburb. Icelandic houses have a certain kind of style to them. So we lock in Iceland. And that's Icelandic language as well. And we win. We are the winner of that game. On to the fourth no-move game. So this feels Mediterranean. We do have these double yellow lines, which is typical British influence, so this should be Malta. We've also got English and Maltese language, so lock in Malta. Malta should be correct, and it is, so we are through. Okay, so next round we have kind of European look. We have these bollards, which are typical in Austria, Slovenia, some Balkan countries. It feels the most like Slovenia, so that's what I go for. I think it could be Austria as well, but it was Slovenia, so didn't need to worry there. Okay, we have Japanese language, so this is definitely Japan. Lock it in straight away. Everybody gets Japan right. Okay, what was this? We have kind of Russian-looking houses, so I think I go for Russia here. And there's a chance it could be Ukraine, so yep, I also am ready to guess Ukraine if Russia is wrong. Russia's correct, so we're through. Next round. So, feels European, feels a little bit, well, we've got a Slovakian shield and Slovak looking language, so it should be Slovakia. And Slovakia is correct. So this feels African. I'm thinking about Eswatini and Lesotho. It feels the most like Lesotho because there's not many trees, lots of mountains. So Lesotho works. And it is correct. Okay, and this is European, I think. No. Yes, this is Italy, but I end up guessing Chile for some reason. I think I saw the small plates and thought it might be South America, but I was knocked out. It was actually Italy. On to the last of the no moving games. So this feels kind of Russia or possibly the Baltic countries. I wasn't sure exactly where to go. I think I go Russia first. So yep, I lock in Russia. And Russia was wrong, so I go for Latvia, thinking it's a Baltic country. And Latvia is the correct country, so I am through. Okay, I was a little bit baited by the building over there with it looked like the Colombian or Ecuador colours on the flag, but I think it ends up being wrong. So yeah, I guess Ecuador because of the flag colours on the building. I see Colombia is wrong and quickly go for Mexico, and luckily Mexico is correct, so I'm through. Next round, so okay, this feels Latin American again. We have lots of plates which I think look Mexican, so I guess Mexico. I didn't spot the bars in time, so it was Guatemala, and I got knocked out. So now we start the no moving, no panning, and no zooming games. So the first one, we've got the double white lines in the middle, so this should be Greece. Landscape doesn't look particularly Greek, but the road looks very Greek, so that's what I go for. And Greece is correct, so we are through. So a lot of people struggled on that one, 5 people out and 5 people left. So this feels Indonesian. We've got Indonesian looking kind of gutters and the house and I don't know, the crops, the mountains, general vibe feels Indonesian, so lock in Indonesia. Ready for Malaysia in case it isn't, but it's correct, so we are through. So this one is a Indian trekker. India has a lot of historic monuments covered, so I go for India. And India is correct. And oh yeah, I remember this one. I really wasn't sure where to go on this one. I think it feels tropical, but I don't know where to go. I go Colombia, thinking it has kind of Amazon vibes, but Colombia is wrong. And I see a lot of Asian guesses as well. Go for Brazil. Brazil is wrong. With the Asian guesses, I change to Southeast Asia. And thinking about different options, Philippines, Cambodia. I see some of the guesses that are made already. What do I go for? I think I go for the Philippines. I go for the Philippines, but it was wrong. None of us got it correct, and we're on to the next round. The next round feels like Brazil, so I lock in Brazil. I think I end up having computer issues or internet issues here. Hobbit guesses Argentina, and I get it correct, so I'm through. So yeah, this is the round where I have internet issues. I try to guess Hungary, thinking it could also be Bulgaria, but I lock in Hungary. I'm ready to guess Bulgaria, but my guess doesn't get registered and I'm knocked out, so well done GeoPeter there. Now for the second NMPZ game. So what was this? This looks Australian, the kind of houses. The houses are very spaced out, so I guess Australia. Australia has a lot of one-story houses. And Australia is correct. Right, so the next round, it feels like Kenya or Uganda. I wasn't sure which country to go for, but I was thinking one of the two. I think Kenya, but then I changed to Uganda. And Uganda ends up being correct. Kind of the look of the road, the fence, and the houses felt like that area of Africa. And we are through. We've got some houses that look to me very Malaysian, so also it looks like the car has a black plate. So I put in Malaysia. I think I was also ready to guess Singapore in case it was Singapore, but I didn't have to worry, Malaysia's correct. So, yeah, I remember this round. I saw some of the trees to the left and I thought they looked a bit like Peru, like northwest Peru. So I guess Peru. And Peru ends up being wrong, and I'm thinking about Colombia. Guess Colombia, also because of the trees. Colombia is wrong. I quickly realised that we are driving on the left, and that it could be Kenya, and I guess Kenya. Looks like it might be a Kenya follow car, and Kenya is correct, so we are through. Okay, into the next round, feels Mediterranean. We have these black and white arrows, which are common in Spain, Italy, Greece. I guess Spain first, because it looks very dry. I think Spain ends up being wrong. I'm ready to guess Italy, and I do. I do guess Italy, and Italy is correct, so through to the next round. Okay, and 3 of us are in this round. We have yellow plates and very Netherlands-looking houses, so the Netherlands it should be. So I lock it in, pretty confident about that. It's correct, and all 3 of us are through to the next round. So, this feels Bolivian based on the kind of houses and the hills, so I lock in Bolivia. And Bolivia ends up being correct. Okay, the final is me and Tiggy. So, okay, this round is very generic Europe. I had no idea where to guess. I was thinking more kind of around Poland, Ukraine, Lithuania, Latvia, this kind of area, but wasn't really sure. Oh, I was thinking Hungary actually. So I guess Hungary. Hungary was wrong. Tiggy still hasn't guessed yet. I was thinking about other countries. He guesses Poland, so I didn't need to worry about guessing there. I was wondering about Italy and other countries as well. I end up thinking Baltics, so I guess Lithuania, which is wrong. So then I try Latvia. Really not many clues here. And Latvia was also wrong, so I didn't get that one. And Tiggy didn't get it correct, so we are through. It was actually Ukraine. So this looks like Indonesia. The style of the roofs there look very Indonesian, so that's what I go for. And we've got some Indonesian looking language, Batuk or something below. And we are through. Both of us got Indo correct. And this is Greece. We've got the double white line again, and this feels like an area in northern Greece. I think it's northeastern Greece somewhere. And it is correct, and we are the winner of that game, so good stuff. On to the third game. So, what do we have here? So, we have a lot of language, lots of English. It feels African. Not sure where to guess. Yeah, I remember this. I really wasn't sure where to go for. We're driving on the left. It's not Ghana or Kenya. But then I notice some black and yellow poles on the very far left. So I'm thinking in the end that it could be Botswana. So that's what I go for. South Africa I guessed first, but it was wrong. But I did get Botswana. Also, most of the other African countries were guessed, so Botswana was one of the last countries that were possible. Okay, on to the next round. So, this is Israel. We've got yellow plates, we've got the white and red curve, which is typical in Israel. Also, we've got the language on that sign. It's a bit hard to read, but should be Hebrew, so we are correct. And next round, okay, this is the round I go out on. Lots of fields, lots of hills, not many clues. I think I went for Eswatini, but I wasn't sure about that. I lock it in. It was in fact Lesotho, so I am out of the game. Okay, now for the fourth game of NMPZ. So, what was this? Oh yeah, I remember this feels kind of like Argentina or Uruguay, so I guess Argentina. The house looks like it could be an Argentinian house. It is wrong. So I'm thinking about other countries. I'm wondering if it could be Europe, even like Spain, Italy. A few people getting it. Just wasn't sure, just thinking about various different countries. And I was thinking about, should I guess Uruguay? I didn't have to guess too quickly because it is the first round. But I was thinking about Uruguay, just taking my time. Eventually I do decide to guess Uruguay, because it looks very similar to Argentina sometimes, and it's correct. And what was this? This feels Scandinavian. I was thinking about Sweden, Finland, Norway, I guess Sweden, but really wasn't sure. It feels quite generic. Sweden was wrong. So Finland's already been guessed, so I don't need to guess there. And then I go for Norway. And Norway was correct, so we are through. Okay, and this was quite a difficult round. I wasn't sure. I guessed Mexico because of the street light on the pole, I think. But I don't think it was correct. I was wondering about Guatemala as well. Mexico's already been guessed, so I go for Guatemala. Guatemala was wrong. And then I was thinking, could it be East Asia? We've got a lot of East Asia guesses, and the crops and the fields do look more Asian. So Thailand's already been guessed in Sri Lanka. I was thinking about Indo, Philippines, Cambodia. Do I go for Indonesia? Still thinking about it. I think I was wondering about the Philippines as well. But really, really difficult to know. I guess Indonesia in the end. And it was correct, so we are lucky we are through. Okay, so this feels like typical Belgium or the Netherlands. We've got a bike lane. Which country do I go for? I go for the Netherlands. Was it correct? And I'm ready to guess Belgium in case Netherlands is wrong. Netherlands was wrong, so I go for Belgium. And Belgium is correct. Okay, this feels like a typical Southern Europe. I was thinking about Spain, Greece, Italy, Portugal, France. Not sure where to go. Kind of waiting to see what other guesses were going to be. It wasn't Greece, so I go for Italy. And now I'm thinking about Spain and Portugal. I go for Portugal. Portugal's correct, so I'm through. Okay, on to the next round. So, what do we have? We have some fields. We have a white line. So I was thinking about Asian countries based on the landscape. Yeah, Thailand, Cambodia. I guess Cambodia. Or was it? Cambodia was wrong, so I go for Thailand. Thailand was also wrong. And thinking about Indonesia, Malaysia, but really not sure. What do I go for? I honestly can't remember. Deciding between Malaysia and Indonesia there. And also kind of waiting for one of the others to guess. Bangladesh has been guessed, and that's wrong. Doesn't help because I wasn't thinking about Bangladesh. So I'm still waiting to see if Hobbit or GeoWizard guess somewhere else. And also wondering about the Philippines. And I think they are also waiting for me to guess. So I go for Indonesia and it's wrong, and the others are still guessing. And it was actually Ecuador, so very surprising, didn't think it was South America at all. But we are all still in the game. Nobody got that correct. So I'm thinking about Europe, I'm not sure. Where do I go? I go for Montenegro. We've got lots of mountains. I think I was mainly thinking about Balkan countries. It was wrong. Albania has also been guessed. And it's not Macedonia. So I have one more guess. I'll go for Slovenia. And Slovenia is wrong, so I didn't get through that time. And aGreedyHobbit is through, so I am knocked out there. And now we're on to the final NMPZ game and the final game of the day. So, what do we have here? So we have kind of Colombian looking fences, that's what I thought, on the left. So I go for Colombia. And I was also thinking about Brazil, because Brazil sometimes has similar looking fences. Colombia is wrong, so I go for Brazil. I think a lot of people struggled on this round, so I'm waiting for some of the others to guess. And Brazil is wrong, so I guess Argentina for some reason. Argentina is wrong. Still nobody getting this. A lot of South America guesses, Peru, Chile, coming in. I start to think, is it Southeast Asia? Wondering about Bolivia because it hasn't been guessed yet. We've got a Thailand guess coming through, Bolivia coming through. With the Bolivia guess, I'm starting to think it's not Latin America at all. So I move over to Southeast Asia. and now the Southeast Asian guess is coming in. Thinking about Cambodia. Really not sure. Cambodia is wrong, so I guess Indonesia. It's not Indonesia, so then I'm thinking Sri Lanka hasn't been guessed yet, and it is correct, so I'm through. The only reason I guessed Sri Lanka really was because it hasn't been guessed yet. Okay, so we have a white center line and tropical feel. It feels a lot like Malaysia. Very tropical, white center line is common there. So I pencil in Malaysia, thinking it could be Indonesia as well, so I'm ready to guess, but Malaysia was correct. Okay, so we have some kind of buildings. This feels kind of Russian to me. I'm wondering also about Mongolia actually, but I'm guessing Russia here. It feels very Russian, and Russia is correct. So 3 of us are left still. Okay, we have a white car, double yellow lines. White cars appear in Peru, Chile, Bolivia, so I guess Chile. Don't know why I guess Chile, because Chile normally has white center lines, not yellow. Wondering about Bolivia. I guess Bolivia, and it's correct. Next round, so me and Hobbit in the final. I remember this was a very confusing round. I wasn't sure how to minimize the map as well without panning and zooming. So Hobbit guesses Brazil and I guess Cambodia. I was thinking it could be Southeast Asia or Latin America. The houses did look kind of Brazilian style, kind of, so I guess Cambodia. Cambodia was wrong. And I can't remember where I guessed next. I was kind of clueless on this round, so I was just guessing and hoping for luck. I saw the South America guesses, so I switched to South America, and I guess Bolivia, and it's wrong. So Greedy has 3 guesses wrong, so if I get this correct, I win, but I don't think I do. I end up guessing Ghana, and Ghana is wrong. It ends up being the Philippines, but a very, very difficult location there. And this round, we've got that red house, which looks very Scandinavian. So I'm thinking about Norway and Sweden. So I guess Sweden first. And Hobbit locks in as well. Now Sweden is wrong, Denmark is wrong. So I'm thinking about Norway and Finland. I feel like the trees didn't feel finished at the time, so yep, it was Finland. I got knocked out, and Hobbit won that game. So GG's. And that's the end of the tournament. So I had a real blast playing that, playing in these games. Had some bad games, but still had a lot of good games. So it was very intensive, very fun, and yeah. Thank you to everybody who took part. Everybody played very, very well. And also, special thanks to Hobbit for organising the competition. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Again, check out the other streamers. They will be, they are releasing videos of the tournament from their perspective, so be sure to check all those out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you have a good day, afternoon, or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.